There he is on the number 18. The red behind his number indicates he is holding the series points lead. He and Martin were tied in points after round one. Martin has the edge now after he paid championship points in Moto 1. But Moto 2 is about to get underway. 30 minutes and 2 laps of racing, 40 riders on the gate. And as soon as this one is over, we'll be back with the 450 class and the Superstars in their second moto. So 2 hours of racing coming your way. Mechanics move away from the starting line area. Fly Racing 30-second card is sideways. Revs are up. The gate is down. And it's Justin Cooper and Jet Lawrence down to the inside fighting it for it. Justin Cooper will have your motosport.com whole shot. Jeremy Martin right there as well. And Jet Lawrence is aggressive this time. He's second, and he's already looking for running room on Cooper.
Yeah, Jean-Luc Swall had a good ride, had a good start coming in that first turn. They ended up bouncing off a couple of riders, almost went down, stayed up, finds himself in about 5th position. But where is Jeremy Martin?
We actually heard Jeremy got sideways coming out of the gate, so he's got a bad start. Oh! Jet almost made the move on the outside. Cooper took him wide.
We've seen the guys getting a little chippy in both classes now. Jet Lawrence won't like that.
Wow!
He's going to send a message right back.
Blitz across top of the jumps, and then Cooper cuts him off again.
These guys are fired up, and that's only going to bring that intensity right from the get-go in this class. In 3rd spot now, Hunter Lawrence.
Yeah, Jet's brother, so he's got backup in this battle with Justin Cooper. And with a bad start for Jeremy Martin, these riders might not be aware of it, but the battle for the day's overall win when we combine both motos is up for grabs with Martin in the back. And listen to the crowd here in Colorado loving this action.
Yeah, huge turnout. Fans are so glad to be back at the races, and we're glad to have them. And they've been treated to some great racing so far.
Jet to the inside. Oh, I got hung up in that rut on the entrance to the corner, and Justin Cooper able to get away.
Yeah, the inside obviously a lot shorter way around, but it's got some deep ruts coming into that turn, really slows and bogs the bike down, but he didn't want to follow, seeing if that works.
Shout out to RJ Hampshire, 3rd in the first moto earlier today. He is running 4th right now. And then the young Maximus Folan, he was running 5th, battling it out with Jarrett Fry and Jalek Swoll. So that takes you just outside the top 5. Well, the defensive riding by Cooper has paid off. He's starting to stretch it now just a little bit over Jet Lawrence. And where is our first moto winner? Jeremy Martin will look for the number 6. Oh, this is terrible. There he is. He just came across. And we'll have him when he gets 2 more corners in. He'll go across the finish line stripe, and then we'll know where he is in the official running order. 17th.
And he made some passes too. He was further back than that. So this is really going to test him right now, but no need to panic. He's got the speed, he's got the maturity. He's just got to be really methodical and not getting held up behind riders too long. You can't get stuck in their pace. He's got to be decisive and make quick action.
Rematch now. Jet Lawrence going to try to go back to work on Justin Cooper on lap 1. It got aggressive twice where Cooper took the line away from Jet, and now Jet's right back on him. He's good on this downhill, no doubt. Made up all the ground right there. Almost had the pass made. He wasn't quite as clean this time.
Last lap up the hill, he nailed it perfectly there. Just a little bit short, cased that double, drain a little speed, gives Cooper just a little breathing room. But I got a feeling when Jet gets a chance, if he does, to get back at Justin Cooper, I think you're going to see maybe a little red paint on the side of that blue Yamaha.
Oh, Jet has already shown he's not afraid to get aggressive if he needs to, and there is really no love lost between Justin Cooper and Jet Lawrence. A year ago, it got chippy at this racetrack. Oh, no! Hampshire running 4th. 3rd in the first race earlier today is down.
In the end zone, where we've seen so many guys go down over the years. Just a very tricky downhill off camber, and that turn just tightens up on you. We're going to have a replay, but you're going to have to focus on the left side of the screen. He'll be coming in the shot right there. Oh, you could see the bike getting sideways. Oh, wow. A lot of them, you could actually see how much speed to carry down that hill, but yeah, he got loose.
Yeah, the camera doesn't always show you how steep these hills are, but when you see a rider go flying like that and tumble, that gives you an idea how much gravity is at play. That is a downhill into ruts, and it has claimed many riders through the years. So, once again, looking like a great day for Hampshire. Once again, a mistake cost him. That's happened far too many times, I'm sure, for his liking.
And his mistakes usually aren't little ones.
No.
They're pretty spectacular.
Jet Lawrence still second. Justin Cooper has 1.5 seconds on him. Hunter Lawrence on the other Honda is in third. Jarrett Fry has moved up to fourth. He's a teammate of Cooper on the Monster Energy Star Racing Yamaha. And this is the kind of ride Jarrett Fry needs. It has been a rough first full pro season for him. And we're going to see if he's fighting for a ride next year or not. I know his deal with Star Racing is up. Maybe they bring him back, maybe they don't. Put in some good rides. Definitely get somebody's attention. And that's what the young rider here out of Maryland, the number 59, is trying to do. And it's Jalek Swoll right behind him. And another Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. Swoll in his second year showing gains.
And just keeping up on Jeremy Martin's process. He is up to 11th now, so really getting by a lot of riders early. And that really helps because early in the race, they're more packed together. The longer it takes, the more spread out it gets, the further you get away from the leaders.
Yeah, this is a good battle back here. You got Faulkner and Shimoda, the Kawasaki teammates. They're battling uphill. Nate Thrasher right behind them. And they're not too far behind this group. Should be Martin. Back to the leaders. Justin Cooper and Jet Lawrence. So I mentioned it was chippy last year. Justin Cooper won this race, and he brought his dog up to the podium with him. And Jet Lawrence thought that was unprofessional, and he made his feelings on that very clear on social media. And Cooper responded by running a butt patch of his dog on the back of his pants at the next race. The dog eating a donut, which is a favorite snack of Jet Lawrence. So these two have history. They're going to create some more battling for the lead right now. Oh, it's on right now. Jetson has caught Justin Cooper, and memories are long in racing. He's going to remember the aggressive action early in this moto. Hunter Lawrence is next. Then it's Fry, Swoll, Brown, Faulkner, Shimoda, Thrasher, Voland, and then Jeremy Martin 11th. Oh, Jet almost lost the back end.
Yeah, it's getting that time of the day. The track's getting packed in. They've thrown all the water down, so it's in between of that dry slick and wet slick in a lot of these areas. So throttle control is going to be very important. These bikes don't have traction control like a lot of vehicles. Your traction control comes down to your right wrist, how you twist that throttle, and the clutch. You use your clutch to create power and to rob power because you can slip it a little bit. So you can get the RPM up. When it gets slick, a lot of times, oh, Justin Cooper got a little twitch there. Good thing he had good grip with his knees. He pulled it back real quick.
Oh, one of the riders is down.
Is that Jeremy?
Is that Jeremy? That is one of the Star Racing Yamaha riders.
That's Jeremy.
Yes, because he has the wrist brace. Jeremy Martin, our first moto winner, is down. He was trying to mount a comeback, and he is not even, he doesn't look like he's attempting to get back into this race at all. He's got a wrist brace on that left arm. Now he's going for the motorcycle, and now Jet Lawrence is going after Justin Cooper. How many things can happen at once in this series?
As we were just talking about Jeremy Martin just doing damage control, that's the unfortunate thing about a bad start. You're having to dig deep. You're using different lines. You got guys all around you. You just cannot ride your own race.
Oh, this could be devastating for his championship hopes. We'll try to figure out if he can get back in this one. But right now, we got to focus on the battle for the lead. Jet got close 2-3 times. Cooper able to fend him off.
Using the entire track right now. See the riders trying to be very creative, staying out of those bumps as much as possible.
Jet keeps working that inside. Could pay off later in the race. Jeremy Martin is in the mechanics area. And they're going to work on the bike. So he might be okay, maybe just banged up. High drama here. Series leader and first moto winner Jeremy Martin has gone down. We were away at break. It took him a long time to get up. He has nursed the motorcycle back into the mechanics area. Looks like they're looking at his wrist and his hand, but they are also working on the right side of the handlebars. But I think he's going to go back out. And the medics came over to check on him, and he waved him off. I guess he's feeling good enough. The problem in motocross is there's 40 riders circulating on the track, but only 20 score points. It's going to be tough for him to get in the top 20. Is he even going to attempt it?
I think he's going back to rejoin the track where he left. Smart thing, avoiding a penalty. But yeah, I agree. I think points are gone. Now you got to play the long game. Is it worth going out and potentially aggravating that wrist more. It's not often I say it might be the smartest thing to pull it in, call it a day, go straight to the medical unit, get it checked, get some ice on it, and think about the next round.
Yeah. Once you lose about a lap out there, it's almost impossible to get back into the points. And that's the situation Jeremy is facing. So everything was going his direction. He wins the first moto, but then a bad start here. We're not exactly sure what happened. We just saw him down as he boarded into the top 10. We go back to the leaders. Justin Cooper, a rough ride up those jumps going uphill. And it is allowing Jet Lawrence, the number 18, to close back on him.
Yeah, he just tagged one of those doubles, and you could see it just robbed a little speed, allowed Jet to get close. So they've traded mistakes on that uphill. And Jet, as you said, riders have a long memory. He knows what he wants to get Cooper bad right now. They don't like each other, and there's nothing that he would like more to make a good aggressive pass and send a message.
Send it to Will.
Grant, that's a big question, right? How hard does he push right now? When we spoke to him in the week leading up to this race, I was curious to ask him, you know, where he was at as far as just maturity. He's talked about it a lot.
Here it comes, Will. Sorry to cut you off, but he just put that pass on. We knew it was coming. We knew he'd get aggressive, and he did.
It did.
Yep, and he kept setting up that inside line. He kept setting up that inside line, tried it 3 or 4 laps. We'll send it to Will on the, well, somewhat more mature, right?
Right, well, that was what we were wondering, right? That was a big question mark. How hard is he going to push it? Because he did say, you know, if the opportunity's there, absolutely, I'll take it. But he said, I've learned a lot. He actually specifically talked about Indianapolis Supercross. That was the last of the big crashes that he had there. And said that he pretty much kind of got a slap from that and was told, hey, you can't do this anymore. You can't push it too far. And while we were in break there, we saw him push on Jeremy Martin and have a sketchy little moment. So I don't know, Grant, if you're surprised to see him do that, or whether, you know, we're talking about Jet Lawrence here. He just eyes on the prize. Can he help himself?
No, absolutely. He did exactly what I would expect him to do. He saw an opening. He went for it. As I said, no love lost between these two riders. And that was a great pass. I mean, he knew that Cooper was leaving the door open. We'll have a look at it. See, Justin goes to the side. He just charges. He knows coming in what he's going to do. And right there, take the line away. And Justin Cooper, now he's going to be like, oh, that guy. The beautiful pass, though. I mean, there was a lot of aggression, built up aggression there. But, yeah, I mean, we saw it in the 450s. Now we're seeing the 250s. Just great racing. Love seeing the aggression from these guys.
Yeah, and I wonder how much of that was what he needed to get into the lead. Did he add maybe a little something extra? Because remember, in this corner right here, Cooper did the same thing to him earlier in this race.
Now, he threw a little mustard on that one just to repay the favor, as we say at racing. Racers have a really good ability of keeping score. And right there, he was like, I owe this guy one. And that's why I said he would probably wait. Not too much red paint on the blue bike at the moment. He just clipped that front wheel. Probably what he was hoping to do.
Yes.
That's the easiest way to make a block pass and put the rider behind you down. And I wouldn't say he'd feel bad about it or he's doing it on purpose, but you send a message in racing. It's racing, and this is not kindergarten.
And what a bounce back for Lawrence, who was only 4th in Moto 1. Let's see if Cooper can keep him honest. Cooper got passed by Jeremy Martin in the first moto, and a couple times we thought Martin had broken him, and he was going to settle for second, but then he put in a couple of runs, get close again, so don't count Cooper out, who does like this racetrack and was the fastest rider in qualifying today.
And he doesn't need any more motivation. No. Imagine he's a bull and that all red in front of him is the flag. He's got red in his eyes right now. Yeah,
he's going to come charging, and he'll get to study the lines that Jet was using by sitting behind him. So it's a critical juncture in this moto right now.
One thing I am seeing, you start seeing that dirt getting light. Not there, but there's a lot of sections where it's very light. It's hard packed, it's dry, and it's slick. And a lot of times when you just, at altitude, what riders will do a lot more is even when the bike's in the air, they'll rev the engine to really get that rear wheel spinning. So when they land, the bike doesn't bog down at all. And with it being slick and these guys pushing and all that, watch for that rear end to get a little loose or the front end to push in some of these turns.
Yeah, a lot of the riders mentioning after practice, you can see the difference in character of the dirt, how it goes from dark to light. It'll be dry in some spots. It will be wet and tacky in others. It's event points as they run. That is our total of both motos. Your overall win for the day, most championship points scored in both races. It would go to Justin Cooper if it ends like this. I think Cooper wants to win the moto. To do it, he's got to get back around this guy. Young, 17-year-old Jet Lawrence. Oh, that was beautiful. Sending it down that hill. Woo!
It was beautiful because he got off the brakes and was just really carrying that momentum. But what happens is when you hit the bumps at a slightly different pace, the bike will start reacting different because you're almost skimming them like you would a whoop section. But then at some point you have to brake, and that's where you saw the bike getting just a little loose underneath them. But the pace is intense from these front two. They're pulling away from Hunter Lawrence, and I think all that little chippy back and forth has got these guys fired up, and they're riding at 100%.
Yeah, Hunter is riding well in third, but he's losing ground. He's 8 seconds back of his brother, who is your leader, Jet, on the number 18. Jarrett Fry continuing to ride well, running in fourth. Joe Shimoda silently doing it over and over, under the radar, but running a solid fifth. Then it's Swole, Nichols, Fortner, Moseman, and Thrasher, top 10. I don't see Jeremy Martin running in the top 30 at least right now. And remember, Martin, first Moto winner, went down, went into the mechanics area, and then attempted to return to the racetrack. Lost a ton of points. It's early in the season, so it's certainly not over. But that's a big hit for Jeremy, and to make things even worse, man, he was tied for the points lead coming into the race and scoring max points if it ends like this.
The big question is going to be next round. Is he going to be able to be there?
Yeah. Well, the good news for Jeremy is that there is
the weekend off.
Yeah, the weekend off before round 3 at High Point. So we'll see if that's a factor in Jeremy trying to recover. I believe he was nursing a wrist injury coming in. Maybe he tweaked it. Who knows what it might have been. It could have just been a bike problem after the crash. Hey, tomorrow MotoGP is back in Catalunya. The fans are back there as well. Fabio Quartararo, 5th straight pole position. He's been rolling in the races where he's felt good this year. He's been almost unbeatable. That's tomorrow at 11:30 on NBCSN, or you can watch on MotoGP.tv. And new this year is the NBC Motorsports Junction, where the worlds of motorsports meet. So Australian Jack Miller, seeking his 3rd win in MotoGP tomorrow, he salutes his fellow countryman, Jet Lawrence.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. Jet and Hunter are doing an amazing job over there. You know, I watch every week. I've been watching the Supercross every week, and then, of course, outdoors last week. I watched the first Moto for 450 and 250 on Saturday night in the motorhome, and then I had to watch the second Moto in the morning. But no, they're doing a fantastic job. You know, I'm a massive fan of him. He knows that, and he's doing Australia proud.
That's good stuff from Thrilla Miller, and he's going to be thrilled over this. Jet leading again.
Yeah, exactly. And Miller looking strong and qualifying today behind Quartararo. So front row start for the Aussie. The Aussie's doing very well in two-wheel racing these days. And if Thrilla Miller can pull it off, it'll be Miller time.
Oh, okay. So Jet trying to bounce back. He was 4th in the first Moto earlier today. Something has changed. He's much better here in this second Moto, and he's pulled away from Justin Cooper. But he's only halfway through this one. 15 minutes down. We have 15 minutes to go. You can save 15% or more on your motorcycle insurance with Geico. Save a little less than 15 minutes. 12 minutes before the clock expires. And then it will be 2 laps to go. Little mistake from Jet. Takes a look over to make sure Cooper's not there.
He's been pushing. He's been trying to break Cooper because he knows if Cooper gets a shot, there'll be some blue paint on his bike. So he wants to try and just pull that lead, break his spirit, have him sort of surrender in a sense. Because a lot of times, riders, if you push the limit and someone pulls away from you, subconsciously, whether you like it or not, you tend to kind of throw in the towel and just ride to get the points. But he's hanging in there. So there's your leader. That's the gap to second, Justin Cooper. And they have just absolutely dropped Hunter Lawrence.
Yeah, we will try to go through the field here, but it went from about an 8-second gap to 3rd place, Hunter Lawrence, to nearly... Well, it was nearly 30. I thought it was 24 and a half seconds back to 3rd. But he's still running well. Another rider watch, Joe Shimoda, who's moved up to 4th.
Yeah, he just put the pass on Jarrett Fry.
Yep.
So.
Whoa! Hunter Lawrence almost threw it away on that one.
That's one way to enjoy your camera time.
Yeah, thanks for the show,
Make the most
Hunter.
of it, yeah.
Yep. Got sideways, those downhills. And look, Jeremy Martin went down. We've seen it time and time again on this track. It is a true risk-reward experience. Trying to manage these ruts and the ups and downs. Here is Shimoda. effectively moving his way into the top 5 and now 4th of the Monster Pro Circuit Kawasaki.
I feel like if he could get the start, he's just always coming from outside of the top 10, and with the depth, it's so hard to be a podium guy, even if you have podium speed.
You talk about the risk and reward. Joe has admitted that he's often too conservative. Even said his favorite rider, well, he couldn't be conservative through those ruts. They were ripping his feet off the pegs, but he's trying to get more aggressive. He says he wants to make more mistakes from pushing it. Good battle here. Michael Mosiman on the outside, Jared Fry on the inside, and Mosiman rode right around it.
That was just, got that bike cranked over, railed that outside, like a little cushion there, and made that pass look relatively easy. But Mosiman, another one, good pace. We just don't see him out front very often.
Yeah, and he had another good run going in the first moto earlier today, but he crashed out of it. So everyone is handing over piles of points early in this championship. Mosiman bouncing back. Right now he's in 5th. Then it will be Fry on the 59. And then Jalek Swoll putting the pressure on Fry. Mosiman here on the Troy Lee Designs Red Bull Gas. Wow, nice leap downhill.
Yeah.
Swoll's on the move on the 47.
Gonna stay low with this jump. I gets a little bit of a pop there. So one may be able to get the pass done right now. Also a better motor for Colt Nichols.
Yeah, right behind them.
The regional Supercross champ.
Oh, Swoll on the inside. Haven't seen a lot of riders make that work. Drag race in the corner. Who's going to break late?
Nice.
Swoll gets it done.
Yeah, that inside has just gotten so rutted that guys are avoiding it, but he didn't want to follow, and he went through the rough part. Wasn't pretty, but he got a good drive out of that turn, made the pass. Fry looks like he just rolled over for his teammate.
I don't understand. I mean, those 3 passes happened in a hurry, and he did not fight back on Swoll, on Mosiman, or Nichols.
I wonder if he's maybe just getting a little fatigued and figured rather than trying to hold his teammate up, just do the right thing.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Fry, who's now on the verge of being bumped out of the top 10. If we take the event points as they run, Justin Cooper will be today's overall winner with a pair of second-place finishes in the motos. Jet Lawrence will be looking at 4-1 scores for 2nd overall. But a long way to go. Downhill we go. Battle is still on. Colt Nichols. Didn't see much of him at the open air at Pella. Didn't see much of him in Moto 1. Now we're starting to see him catch some fire. Battling it out with Jalek Swoll. This would be for 6th.
Yeah, and for Colt Nichols, he really needs to get this pass done. He needs to put up those results. I think it's no secret that he's always been stronger in Supercross than Motocross, but he believes that he can run near the front. And look at that, just charges that hill.
Wow.
Swoll's going to be maybe a little surprised. Well, the lines came together almost.
It's good racing all the way down here. Can Nichols make it work all the way around the outside? They almost come together.
They did. There was a little contact mid-turn there. Swoll didn't want to surrender that spot. And Nichols, he just had a better drive at the end. And Swoll not giving up.
Oh, down to the inside. There wasn't any room. He's tried to make some. Man, these guys are fighting hard. So Colt Nichols, he worked for that one. And Swoll's still trying to get him back.
Yeah, Swoll's showing some good aggression as well. Whether it's 5th, 6th, 7th, you know, for him, this is a good result as well. And he wants to build off of that. Every point counts in these championships.
Oh, is this Shimoda and Mosiman going at it right now? Mosiman, 4th in both motos last week, and he wants 4th again here. So Mosiman, man, he has shown some pace this year. And he also has shown some aggression. So if he finds an opening on Shimoda, you know, he's going to try to make it happen.
No, he's so close. He's not even getting roosted. The rooster's going under his fender. Oh, drag race up the hill. He's got a great drive around the outside, but can he make it happen?
Oh, now it's going to get risky. It's going to be high speed downhill. Michael Mosiman. Mosiman and Joe Shimoda going at it. Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. Battle for 4th place in the 250 class. Uphill, downhill, left turns, right turns. Mosiman finally makes it happen. Shimoda trying to come back. So the 42 of Mosiman, at least for the moment, has it locked down. Oh, and then a big kick from the back tire of Shimoda will slow him down.
Yeah, you saw that. He had to back off as he bounced out of that rut. But, man, those two were going at it for almost a half a lap. You could, you know, they were almost like a motorcycle with a trailer. They were so close and hooked up. But Mosiman, like you said, just carrying great corner speed. flowing around those rutted lines. And then down here, he charged so hard on the previous lap.
He's got a lot of confidence going right now. Mosiman got to be bummed, though. He crashed out of the first moto while running 6th earlier today, so he handed over a lot of points. But this could be 3 of 4 races this year running 4th for Mosiman. So he's made gains every year. That's the thing about him. It's been a slow but very steady progression. Speaking
of gains, he's been making small gains on the rider in front of him, Hunter Lawrence. And I know he knows where he's at. He can see him up ahead. That bright orange gear is very noticeable from a long way away. So Mosiman is seeing that, and watch, you'll see him come over the jump. He is closing leaps and bounds about a second a lap for the last, few laps or so. Let's see what the gap is when they cross the line and what the lap times were. Hunter Lawrence was a 2:17, Mosiman 2:15. So taking some chunks out at the end of this moto.
Moto podium on the line. Who could get third? Will it be Hunter Lawrence here on the number 41? The Australian and the Team Honda HRC machine, or will it be Mosiman on the gas? Backed by Troy Lee Designs and Red Bull, there's Mosiman.
Unfortunately for the overall, Mosiman's kind of out of the picture because of that no point score in the first moto. But at the end of the day, a moto on the podium is always a great way to end off the day. And at the end of the day, he wants to finish as high up in the championship as he can. There's no reason why to think that because of one DNF, you're completely out of the series. I mean, we're going to see a lot of ups and downs. We just saw we lost our points leader that came into this moto, Jeremy Martin, with a crash. Expect the unexpected in 2021.
Absolutely. And Hunter Lawrence has been pretty consistent this year, so he's keeping himself in title contention as well, but he would love to hold Mosiman off. Mosiman, a real interesting personality off the track, plays chess. We've talked about that a lot. Very analytical about everything that he does. I remember when he was riding for the Rockstar Husqvarna team, they were always on him to be more aggressive. They used to kid him and say, "You can't hurt a fly," to motivate him. And then actually, I feel like over the last year or so, Mosiman has become one of the aggressors. So all those pokes and jabs at him, it's paid off. But just as quickly as he was closing the gap, Hunter's spread it back out.
Well, that's sometimes the situation if you're Hunter Lawrence. You're riding around sort of in no man's land. There's no one in front of you to catch. There's no one behind you. And you just fall into this, what I call that comfortable midweek pace, like you're going through the motions. Then you get a pit board. Hey, Mosiman coming. And you're like, not going to happen. And you step it back up. Let's see what his lap time is when they come across the finish line.
Well, wait, let's see this. I think has Shimoda slipped back by him, so that aggression, yes. So we saw how hard Mosiman was charging. I think he made a mistake, and it might be Shimoda back in front of him. We'll update it when we get into another split in our results board here. But yes, so all that work that Mosiman did to get Shimoda and then try to track down Hunter Lawrence, and then he makes a mistake, clearly, and now Shimoda's gotten it back. And he'll have to reset.
Yeah, as they cross the finish line.
There it is.
Jet Lawrence, 2:17. Justin Cooper, 2:16. So he took a second out that lap. Just closing it up a little bit. Hunter Lawrence was a 2:17. Shimoda, 2:18. Mosiman, 2:24. So he lost about...
almost lost the front end, Jet Lawrence.
It's getting slick out there.
Yeah, and that's what all the riders talk about, managing the different conditions. Some of this track is dry, some of this track is moist, and it changes in a hurry.
Well, some of it's also really hard pack and polished, and some of it's rutted and choppy, and some of it's still a little bit deep. In fact, where they're coming up to now, it's still wet, and you can see how deep the ruts have been getting. It's been pulling these guys' feet off the pegs. That's why we often talk about, you've got to get that leg up nice and high and weight that outside peg.
Jet trying to settle it back down, holding the lead, coming past the grass area where the fans have been camped out all weekend, pumped to have fans back at Lucas Oil Pro Motocross, and probably a lot are pumped about this kid. He is becoming one of the most popular riders in this championship. Good personality off the track, has a new program going. You can go to the Red Bull tent every Saturday morning. He was giving away 100 donuts to the first 100 fans that came to the race last weekend. They upped it to 200 donuts for the fans this weekend. So the legend of Jet Lawrence starting to grow, but he was also very adamant last weekend. When he won that race, he said, I want everybody to know I'm not just some kid with talent who likes to have fun. I put in the work also. And that was the real message he wanted to get across. He puts in the work and he trains. And we're going to find out down the stretch of this moto. 1 minute and 2 laps to go.
For a free donut, did you become a fan?
I mean, yeah, I heard free, it's for me. Go Jet. have to bump the alarm clock up a little earlier to beat those fans of the track.
Oh, absolutely.
There's Shimoda.
Mosman trying to come back again. Wait, is that
Marchbanks?
Yeah, he's in the battle.
This is, I got it. No, this is Fortner and Marchbanks. We just saw Shimoda on the same bike, Kawasaki right in front of him. This is a good battle right here. Marchbanks has been rock solid to start this year on the Club MX Yamaha. In a fight, this is 8th and 9th between he and the 38 of Fortner.
What threw me off too is behind them, you got Pierce Brown.
Yes,
He's also the
looks
gas
like
guy. So
yeah.
it looked like, I'm like, where did Marchbanks come from?
Yeah, exactly.
But actually, he's having a fantastic moto once again. He showed some speed in Supercross. He's shown some speed outdoors. And that Privateer Yamaha team doing a great job.
Yeah, Club MX, they have to be happy about this. It's actually a riding facility in South Carolina. They started a pro team a few years ago, raced Supercross only, raced Canada a bit.
Here we go.
And look at this, Marchbanks is setting up and passing Fortner. Drag race uphill, you can hear him running through the gearbox. Fortner going to try to get it back around the outside, and he does.
Wow, that looked almost just like pure horsepower, but I might be wrong. I know Marchbanks is not the lightest rider out there.
True.
He's a bigger guy, but wow, that factory Cowie just had some mean grunt up the hill. We always know the Pro Circuit team and Mitch Payton put together a good package, and you just saw it right there.
I got to say, you're not seeing these guys looking as aggressive as before, even though they're trying to pass each other. I wonder how slick this track is getting. Who's willing to risk it more? Downhill, through the ruts, through the slick stuff. Marchbanks gets it back. And what happened to Fortner? He just completely slowed down in that corner, and he's lost pace. What has happened to the 38? No aggression up that hill at all.
Yeah, no. I don't, there might be something wrong. It just looks like he's given up. I don't know.
Well, he just about to cough up a spot here to Pierce Brown. Brown almost snuck through on the inside.
You know, sometimes the altitude affects people differently. We've heard about riders dealing with arm pump. I wonder if he's just not having maybe some breathing issues, because look, he backed off after he got past, and he looks like he's just trying to ride very conservatively right now.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. For being in a battle, he didn't look super aggressive, just sitting upright on the bike, and then eventually Marchbanks was able to repass him. But that being said, he's responded to Pierce Brown. That was 9th and 10th you're watching there. Back to our leader, and it's 2 laps to go. But I also think the white flag has waved from Justin Cooper, because he has drifted 7.2 seconds back. But here's the silver lining in this for Cooper. He will still win the day's overall with 2-2 scores in the 2 races. Jet Lawrence would have a 4th and a 1st. He'll miss the overall by 1 point, but if you're Jet, he won in a straight-up fight with Cooper. He's going to take some confidence with it. Watch Cooper just say, I just knew I had the overall.
Watch Justin bring his dog back up in the
pot.
just stir the pot.
To really stir that pot. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's the rivalry we were talking about from last year between them. When Justin Cooper won this race, had his dog at the podium, and Jet Lawrence said he didn't think that was a professional way to represent the sport, which was taken as a bit of an ironic comment from Jet once won the amateur event at the Monster Energy Cup and was eating donuts on the podium when he was winning that one. Kids will be kids. That's what makes the 250 class fun. And you know that Justin Cooper is going to be out for revenge when they hook it up in 2 weeks at High Point in Pennsylvania. No love lost between these two.
Yeah, you said it. He's waved the white flag. He looked over his shoulder, saw that no one's back there. He's backed it right down. Jet still looks like he's trying to push it, maybe trying to send a statement. You know, sometimes when you just feel this good late in the moto, you know, your breathing's good, your strength is good, you know, you're in a good rhythm. It's sometimes fun just to lay down those good lap times, just so you know when the guys go home, they look at all the lap times and how far you beat them by.
Okay.
It's, you know, just rub a little salt in the wounds.
Yeah, Jet, I mean, he's not above doing something like that, especially not with Cooper. And you have to wonder, he probably has no idea that Jeremy Martin is not going to score points in this moto.
Unless his mechanic told him Jeremy out.
Yeah.
But the way that he was battling with Justin, I don't think he really knew. And I don't think it was even worth telling him.
Yes.
It's too early in the season to be worried about the guy you were battling the points with is out. We're round 2. Maybe round 11, you let him know. So it's basically don't throw it away. Your competition's gone.
It's amazing how quickly the momentum can shift here. That is motocross tradition. You race twice in one day. Jet was 4th in Moto 1. I'm sure he wasn't happy about that. Jeremy Martin won the moto. And then just like that, it flips. Jeremy Martin crashing out of this one and Jet Lawrence winning it. And the momentum shifts right back to the kid. the 17-year-old out of Australia, and a great bounce back. I don't know if they changed the motorcycle or if he just changed his mindset going into this one, but significantly better performance here than Moto 1, because he was with those guys early in Moto 1 and they got away from him.
But when you watch how he rides, you know, just the natural talent is shining right now. You just watch the bumps he hits on purpose and deflects off them, or the bumps that he misses on purpose. He's just able to put that 250 Honda wherever he wants it, and uses a lot of that lower body. He soaks it up with his legs right here. Uses a lot in the knees as extended suspension to the motorcycle. Stands really late into those turns to keep the weight off of the bike. Don't bury it into the ruts. You see how light he stays. He's 17, and you know, everyone says you still got room to grow. They better hope he doesn't grow too much.
Yes, that's the thing. Is it already Jet Lawrence's world in this 250 class? And we're just figuring that out. He was very good last year, consistent in the series, but that much better here in his second full season. And I'll tell you what really struck me. He moved to the United States, raced one big amateur race, the Loretta Lynn's National, a couple of years ago. And it wasn't just that he won there. It was that he has the riding style where he doesn't look like he's riding over his head while running this pace. He looks smooth and in control, which is not what you would think from someone so young.
Sure. You know, it's like a college quarterback that some coaches realize will be a good NFL quarterback, and sometimes they go, he's just not going to make it in the NFL because of these reasons. Jet Lawrence was the guy that you saw, you're like, he's only going to get better as he gets older.
Yeah, it's coming to him pretty easy here in his second full season. The young Australian is going to retake the points lead and a big win here in Moto 2 in Colorado. But he was fourth in Moto 1, and that is going to prove costly. Justin Cooper is going to go 2-2 in the two motos. That's the tradition of motocross. You've got to be consistent over two races for the second year in a row. Justin Cooper wins at Thunder Valley. Well, that's a lot better. He was 5-3. He's going to take some congrats from his 450 teammate, Christian Craig, who's headed to the starting line for his second moto. He was 5-3 his scores at the opener, 2-2 today, much improved. And I also think Craig's picking up some tips.
Yeah, he might be asking for some lines.
Yep.
And what you see. A little interesting debate there. Thanks, buddy. Congratulations.
Yes. Close-knit. A lot of the riders train together on that Monster Energy Star Racing Yamaha team. So Justin Cooper has done it. The rider out of Long Island, New York, for some reason, altitude here at Colorado, and this soil works for him. He's always quick at this track, and now he's won this race for 2 straight years. The Toyota Thunder Valley National is brought to you by Honda Power Sports. Life is better on a Honda. And by Lucas Oil. Keep that engine alive. Those are the trophies on the line here at Thunder Valley, and the number one will go to Justin Cooper. A lot of drama, though, today. Jeremy Martin came in with a share of the points lead, won the first moto. Things were looking great for him, and then a bad start in Moto 2, and he has crashed out. No points scored by him, and terrible day for the Martin family because his brother Alex crashed in practice and broke his arm. So tough one for the very likable Martin brothers. Hopefully they're able to bounce back. We do the weekend off for our next race. Meanwhile, let's send it down to the podium with Will Christian.
Thank you, Jason. With a somewhat surprised Justin Cooper. Justin, we just spoke. Not entirely sure what position you got here, but yes, congratulations. You have just won the overall there. Is that partly because you didn't know what was going on with Jeremy Martin off the track there, but a 2-2 that gets it done today, Justin? What a day.
Yeah, I didn't see Jeremy. I don't really know what happened. I wasn't getting any signals. I didn't even know I won, so not really. I mean, happy, but not happy. Not the way I want to do it. 2-2 is for a win is awesome, but at the same time, it's like, man, I should have won one, but yeah, Jet was riding good that second moto, and I definitely was trying to, push the pace with him. He tested my strength out there. I took all I had to keep that thing up when he passed me, so I knew he was going to try and go for it, and I tried to hold it on, but didn't really know how close it was going to be, but he had the little edge on me and riding really good. It was fun to battle with him, but yeah, we're getting closer. We'll take the win for sure, and it feels really good, honestly, but definitely want to win one of these motos. it feels a little bit awkward winning with a 2-2. So gonna give it up to the whole team. Star Racing Yamaha, my family, my girlfriend here, Thor Parts Limited, Alpine Star Bell, yeah, I guess everyone Dunlop. Yeah, it's good start to the year, and let's keep it going and get you know, some moto wins. Nice 2 hole shots today.
Well, now you know you've won the overall there. You can go and enjoy it with the team now. Just thank you.
Well, so much for that. We thought he knew he had the overall and maybe just said, you know, I don't need to win this moto to get the weekend. He did not. So he was trying to get Jet Lawrence, just couldn't get it done. Let's show you the Lucas Oil race recap here at Moto 2. He mentioned 2 hole shots on the day. Here's the one from Moto 2.
Watch Swole. He almost goes down, bounces off Fry.
Yep. And then Jet Lawrence there, the number 18, the red Honda, is right there with him. And then the crash for Jeremy Martin, and that is huge. So your series points leader coming into this moto.
Yeah, you could tell he was hurt. He wanted to get up, but he didn't have the strength in that arm. That's certainly a concern moving forward. See the mechanics trying to work on that bike, and then watch this. Jet Lawrence says, I'll return a little favor there, Justin Cooper. That's where Cooper said he tested his strength to keep it on 2 wheels.
Jet able to take the lead from there. Cooper kept him honest for a while. Down the stretch, Jet pulls away. He wins the moto, but he was 4th in the first moto earlier today. A 4-1 is good, 2nd overall, but not as good as the 2 second-place finishes that Justin Cooper put together, and that's why he is your overall winner. But Lawrence definitely going to take over the points lead. We'll have more on that in a moment. Here's your guaranteed rate results in this one. Top 10, Hunter Lawrence 3rd, Shimoda, Nichols, Swole, Marchbanks, Forkner held on for 8th, Pierce Brown 9th, and Nate Thrasher 10th. So all sorts of action behind that top 3 in this moto. They went back and forth. And Moseman didn't pop up at the final results. Got all the way up to the number 4 position and then ended up outside the top 10. Things happen in a hurry in the 250 class. He was 11th. All right, we'll gather it back up on the podium. The Lawrence brothers getting a lot of podium time this weekend. We'll send it back down to Will.
That's right. We'll see from the other Lawrence in just a minute. But right now, we have Jet Lawrence coming in 2nd overall. Jet, congratulations for you right now. That means that you're going to be the sole holder of that red plate. We saw a big shift there from Moto 1 to Moto 2. So what was the difference for you? Was it bike or was it all about you?
To be honest, we made a few clickers on the suspension. But to be honest, the boys in the first one, they were just on it. I was trying my hardest and they were just fast. I got nothing to say, no excuses. But this one, I was just hoping the track would get a little rougher and just make sure I get that start, and I ended up executing that, and it was fun. I had fun with Cooper on the first few laps. We were really going for it. He was hooking, so it was hard to keep up with him, but I was able to just kind of study him a little bit and kind of find out where I could make a pass. And I did not want to get that close on that pass. I started sliding. I'm like, well, if I shut off, I'm done, so I'm committing. So I'm like, sorry, but I got to get this. But no, it's sad what happened to J-Mart. I hope it's a quick recovery, or if he can race still more of the series, because he's a tough bugger, man. I want to race him fair and square. I don't want to take it like, oh yeah, I want it because he was injured. But hey, we still got many more rounds to go. Hopefully he can come back and at least race a few more, because he's fun to race.
Thanks so much, Jet. Go and enjoy the 2nd place finish. And guys, yeah, some sportsmanship there from Jet, as we're used to.
Yeah, I was actually a little surprised.
Little diplomatic.
Yes, yes. He said it was an accident that he ran into Cooper there, paddling for the lead. He had to keep it on or he would have gone down. So here are your results, and that is also championship points scored on the day. You see that Cooper edged Lawrence by 1 point. That's why I got the overall. Jeremy Martin with a 1st and a last still scored 25 points. So it's not a complete 0 on the day for him, but you can see that Jet Lawrence scored 43 to Martin's 25. Shimoda was 4th overall. Another quiet but effective performance from Joe. Colt Nichols was 5th. Hunter Lawrence joining his brother on the podium in 3rd.
Yep, that's the first time that has happened in motocross. Congratulations, up on the podium for the first time for you so far this season, Hunter. Momentum-wise, what is this going to mean for you now? This is a great weekend for you.
Yeah, for sure. It's something great to build off of. I went down, which was a little bit silly, but fortunately we had a big enough gap between the front 3 and 4th place, so it was good. Still a lot of work to be done, you know, myself, still building, still not quite there at the top yet, so we've got a little more physical work and stuff to do, so looking forward for the 2-week break we've got now.
Well, have fun building in the 2 weeks. We'll
Thanks.
see you back there.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Yeah, it's going to be hammer down time for a lot of these folks. 2 races and then a weekend off to reset.
No real weekend off is basically what they're saying.
No.
Just no racing.
You can actually do more because you don't need to be recovered by next Saturday. So here are your standings. Jeremy Martin down now 18. That's better than what it could have been.
Not the end of the world.
It's true.
It's just how soon can he get back?
Yes. How bad is he hurt? We really don't know what the situation is. We definitely saw him favoring his hand. All right, so that's the 250.